Well, hi YouTubers. Okay, now I've got the Figure 100 books and Natasha Ngan, The Elites. Never be afraid to fail. Debut novel as well, which is always good to read. Now read a blurb on the back just so you get the idea. You may be an elite Silver, but remember that in the end you're nothing more than a dirty red. Hundreds of years into the future, only one city has survived. Near Babel, a melting pot of cultures and people and fear and discrimination. As a red and ethnic Chinese, Silver could never have dreamed of becoming an elite, a guard of the city's council, yet she's now on the brink of her first major covert assignment. But when Silver's parents go missing, she's forced to confront the outside, life beyond the walls of Near Babel. Silver is plunged into a strange new world of slums and dissidents, of secret splinter groups, and deeply guarded secrets. As the dirty truths about Near Babel begin to reveal themselves, Silver has to search deep within herself for the strength to fight against all she's ever known. Now, yeah, so a dystopic young adult novel where the entire cultures and ethnicities and ethnic backgrounds and races all kind of coincide, within one city. It's a very interesting book because this book moves really fast. Let me just sum up what happens within the first couple of chapters. Silver has assigned to kind of like protect the president. Silver's hungover, she misses it, he gets killed, her parents disappear, she decides to leave Near Babel with her friend Butterfly, who can fly. Okay, yeah, he's called Butterfly and he flies. I liked him, he's a really good character. And kind of leave all behind that she ever knew. And this book moves really fast. The thing is though, with this kind of fiction, this is a fiction which has been done before. This is Logan's Run. This is even Buck Rogers. This is a walled city, a walled environment. This is Divergent. This is a world which is familiar. So the trick is to take it into a new direction. And this book has everything. Oh my god, this book has Silver looking for her parents, a kind of like love interest in your Butterfly, dealing with prejudice, trying to topple the government. She kind of literally gets kind of like dragged into like this scheme to destroy the government because everyone in the future has like birth chips and they determine your future career, your bloodline. Okay, that's what they do. Okay, they determine your bloodline and they determine your future career. And there's a group called Anti-Birthers who want away with it, and Silver gets caught up in this. And this book, it moves fast. It never really breathes though. And the thing is, I love Silver as a character. Let me just read some out, just to kind of get the idea of how well this book is written. Okay. Here you go. This bit. An hour later, Silver was in a first-class air tram carriage, on her way to Little New India. She enjoyed riding in the first trams that hung high above the ground that reinforced strong wires strung between the buildings. From high up, it was difficult to tell people apart. Africans, New Indians, Japians, mainlanders, or even Reds, all blended into each other until they were just people, all the same living day to day in an amazing walled city that stayed standing even as the rest of the world fell around it. Yeah. Oh, mainlanders, that's if you're white. Okay. Which, hey, yeah. And there's at the same time, okay, it's like this contrast with, now this happens further along, with Butterfly, with another character who I'm not going to give out, because I'm not going to give out any spoilers, okay? Right. Isn't it obvious she's a red? The words dropped like bullets into the thin air. Silver shrank away from the door. Of course, she thought. It must have been obvious. No one would want Butterfly to be in love with a red. She was angry with herself. After a lifetime of insults and dirty looks, it shouldn't have been a surprise. It shouldn't hurt this much. Still, she didn't want to hear any more. Her eyes filled with tears as she turned to go back to her room. Butterfly's voice stopped for a second time. What's that supposed to mean? Silver is a red. You know what I mean? I thought you knew better than to fall in love with one of them. One of them? One of them? Well, yes. What does Silver being a red have to do with anything? We all know what reds are capable of, dear. We've heard stories from the travellers that have come through to the village. The tales of the magic men. And remember the plains all those years ago? She's nothing like that, Butterfly interrupted, her so loudly Silver flinched. You can't judge her that way, shoving her on what other people have done. She gets that every day from the people in the city. I would have thought at least she wouldn't get that from you. The silence was tense, and when she spoke, her voice was surprisingly cold. Well, don't say I didn't warn you, she said. I can't control what you think or feel, but I would have thought you had a better sense than this. Love it if you must. Just don't forget how blood runs red. Hypocrisy on every turn. No matter where you are, no matter if you're in the city or not, people are kind of downing you because you're Chinese. Which I kind of like that, because it kind of puts Silver in kind of like a really kind of difficult position. But she is in the rock and a hard place. It kind of proves that no matter where she goes, in or out the city, she will always have prejudices. There is no come out and be liberated with the freedom. As you're a red, that's it. That is done for you. So, this book, though, I do believe has a bit of a pacing problem. Now, a world like Neobabble, a world which encompasses everything, every people's religions and races, I do believe need a bit more development. This book moves really, really quickly. So from Silver escaping, then having to go back into the city, being caught up in this scheme, it's this kind of, it never stops to breathe. The ideas and the concept in this book, I think, could have been stretched out to a trilogy. They really, really could. There's a book called Uglies I read a while ago. I can't remember the author. I'm going to find it and put the links. And the actual journey to get to the encampment took about a good third of the book, and it was a better book for it. This could have had a bit more of the world around Neobabble, because apparently it's a strange kind of desolate world, okay? And it's like a dystopia. But there's a forest and there's water, which could have expanded upon. I mean, did the world heal whilst they were all in there? Can they come out now? That kind of thing. That kind of thing. Now, I think this also plays quite nicely, though, into the class system, too, because juxtaposing this story is another story, okay, of Akazo. Now, Akazo is a character who's just very, very early into the book. He is a pigeon. He basically is like a runner for the city's crime units. And he only really has one dream, and that's to escape his environment. Now, Silver being an elite, she is a top of the league in the class system, if you will. But this is someone from the bottom, okay? Hundreds of miles away, Akaze was having lunch. He sat on the vine-wreathed platform skirting the highest pod of the skylog, chewing noisily on a piece of dry sausage he had pinched from the kitchen earlier. It was one of his favourite spots to sit, to look out at Neobabble. The city wasn't particularly impressive today. It yawned open before him in a giddying swoop of its buildings and rickshaws, tiny as ants far below, and a great curve of the river's outer circle glittering in the sun. Usually it would have put him in a good mood to sit here, looking out at the city, imagining it one day as his own. However, nothing was bright in his mood. I kind of like that. That's so he's at the bottom of the pile, looking at the stars, and Silver was prepared to give everything up to find her parents, and you don't really know why. There's a few questions going on. This is a book I did enjoy, but I wanted it to be expanded upon. I wanted the world a bit more. The ideas of this could have been a trilogy with no problems. So, but the passion, I will give Natasha Ngan so much respect for her passion in this book. Being her debut novel, it's a very, very passionate book, and you can tell it was a labour of love for her. So I fully admire that. I just would have loved to see a bit more of it. So, and I like the fact that, okay, you go from being hungover at a party to suddenly trying to destroy your dystopic society and rebuild a new one from the ashes. 349 pages. If you understand. However, I do recommend The Elites because it's very, very rare to have a book with a Chinese central lead, especially one who gets so much hostility from everyone, including Ember, who's supposed to be like her instructor, her trainer, but she gets so much hostility. It never really is a break for Silver, and as a character, I really, really enjoyed her. So, recommending this. The Elites by Natasha Ngan. Congratulations on your debut novel. Sign off here. Bye now.